All right. Okay. Okay, so again, the notes are emailed, so you should have them in your inbox if you didn't check yet. All right, so here's another trig example. I don't think I went through this last time. I think I might have started to, but I didn't finish it. But anyway, here we have a right triangle, right? Yeah, I mean, correct? Oh my goodness. I was gonna say. So we have a right triangle. Here we have this angle. The Greek letter here is theta. And basically what I'm saying here is theta is 50 degrees. So really we know all the angles in a triangle, because if you add up all the angles in a triangle, you have to get 180 degrees. And here I'm telling you that this side has length 2. This side here has length 2. Okay, now, what we want to do is figure out the length of side B and the length of side C. But we're not going to use Pythagorean's theorem. We're only going to use trigonometry. That's why SOHCAHTOA is here. All right? Okay, now how are we going to do that? Well, we have to figure out which trig functions we want to use, okay? That's really the hard part. Once you do that, the rest of it's not that bad. It's just unfolding definitions, so to say. All right. Okay, so I know it's on the next slide, but let me say it here. You want to figure out what B is, right? B here is the opposite side, opposite the angle, right? We know what A is. A here is 2. So what trig function are we going to use? Well, B is the opposite side. A is the adjacent side. C is the hypotenuse, okay? The hypotenuse is always opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay? All right, so we have opposite we're working with and adjacent, right? We're going to use tangent. Tangent we're going to use. As I said on this slide as well. So that's what we're going to do here. Now, by definition then, tangent of 50 degrees is opposite divided by adjacent. Opposite divided by adjacent. So in this case, we have tangent of 50 degrees is B over 2. I'm not sure why I wrote it twice, but that's okay, I guess. But now we can figure out what B is, right? We want to get B all alone. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we don't want B divided by 2 over 2. We don't want B over 2, right? We want B. Well, let's get the 2 out of there. How do we do that? We're going to multiply both sides by 2. So we multiply both sides by 2. Okay, that's awesome, right? And why is that good? Well, because these 2's cancel. They're gone, right? So we get tangent of 50 degrees is times 2 is equal to B. That's what we get. And so I like to have the unknown variable, the unknown on the left side of the equal sign. I'm pretty sure by convention people do that. But again, it really doesn't matter. So if you left it like this, and then you calculated what this product is, that's fine also. I mean, I wouldn't take points off for that. But anyway, we have 2 times the tangent of 50 degrees. Okay, so for the tangent of 50 degrees part, That's where you want to use your calculator. Make sure you're in degree mode. Okay, if you're not in degree mode, you're not going to get the right answer because it's going to think you want tangent of 50 radians, which is not the same as tangent of 50 degrees. All right? Okay. So anyway, when you do it in your calculator, you get this, and you're multiplying it by 2. And so then you get the product, and that's what this is. I mean, on the exam, I'll tell you how many decimal places to round to. You know, I will do that. All right. I mean, I didn't round here. Well, although I guess I did, but I didn't round to 4 decimal places. That's all right, though. So now we know what B is. We're going to figure out C, but again, we're not going to use B. We're not going to use B. Okay. All right. Now, let's figure out what C is. I know it's on the next slide, what trig function to use, but let me show you. For C, C is the hypotenuse, right? We're not going to use B, so let's use A. We have to use A. So we have the adjacent side, right? The side next to the angle. That's not the hypotenuse, is the adjacent side. We have adjacent, hypotenuse. So what trig function do we use? Well, we have adjacent and hypotenuse. We're going to get cosine. Cosine. Okay? All right. All right. So that's what we use here. Okay? So for cosine, we're going to use, namely, we get cosine of 50 degrees. That's equal to adjacent, which is 2, divided by hypotenuse. So cosine of 50 degrees is adjacent, which is 2, divided by hypotenuse, C. That's what we have here. And the hard part is done. Once you have the equation, you're just basically going to use basic algebra and your calculator, I guess, for the trig part. Now we want to get C, right? We don't want 2 over C. We don't want anything over C. We want C all alone, okay? So let's get the C out of this denominator. We can do that by multiplying C, both sides of the equation, by C. So we do that. This denominator goes bye-bye. You get C on the left side, right? As you can see. So we get C over here. So now we have cosine of 50 degrees times C equals 2. Okay, that's good. We're not quite done yet, okay? Because what we want to do now is get C all alone. Now, I did interchange both sides of the equation. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember why I did that, but I guess it was unconscious or something, I don't know. But anyway, we want to divide both sides by cosine of 50 degrees. That's what we want to do, okay? Because you want to get C all alone, right? You don't want something times C, you want C all alone. So we're going to divide. So we divide both sides by cosine of 50 degrees. Now C is all alone on one side of the equation. On the other side, you get 2 divided by cosine of 50 degrees, as you can see. So we have C equals 2 divided by cosine of 50 degrees. And again, you can use a calculator, right? That's how I got cosine of 50 degrees down here. And so we end up with this, as you can see. Okay, that's good. Are there any questions on that? I have another trig example we can do. Okay, here's another one, and you can see it's similar. I mean, the angle's different, but now we don't know what A and B are. We know what C is, though, the hypotenuse. We're told C is 4. That's what we're told. C is 4. But we got to figure out what A and B are. How would you get A? Well, we have the hypotenuse, right? Let me get that. We know what the hypotenuse is, right? That's 4. That's given. We know A, right? We know what A is. Well, no, so what am I saying? We don't know what A is. We got to figure that out. A is the adjacent side, okay? So hypotenuse, adjacent, right? What trig function do we use? Well, we have adjacent, hypotenuse we're working with. Cosine we're going to use. We use cosine. The angle theta is 10 degrees. That's given to us. We're going to use cosine now.